With loud, upbeat music setting their pace, over 40 students began their 50 miles more march from Madison to Janesville, the hometown of Speaker of the House Paul Ryan. They marched down desolate roads and seemingly endless bike paths through very rural Wisconsin with one goal in mind: to make a change. They made short stops along the way to take bathroom breaks and stretch their tired limbs.
Does anyone else need to go to the bathroom?
You need a partner?
We had a little bit of a detour where we marched about a mile in the wrong direction today, and that would be a little frustrating, you think, but there was no real super frustration. There was just a little bit of a disappointment. But then as soon as we started marching back in the other direction, we were good to go again. So this is definitely a group that's determined to make a change, and I think we're going to do that.
I mean, at first I was like, this is actually really good. My feet are a little tired right now. The weather was a little cold, but I'm really enjoying this a lot.
The marchers lined up to count just over 40 heads before they were back on the move.
Hey! Ho-ho! The NRA has got to go! Hey, hey!
They didn't make it far, though, before they had to dodge some local bikers.
Bikers! Ho-ho! The NRA has got to go!
Sanaya, Mia, and Malachi go to school in Milwaukee.
What this means for me is for gun violence to stop, and this is like another way of how gun violence can be stopped.
I think it means for kids in school to be more safer from guns.
I also agree with them too. I'm doing this cause right now because it's something that I care about.
I mean, it's a really important thing, and change needs to happen. And we have these awesome young voices from all across Wisconsin saying that we need to change, so hopefully that will really, inspire people.
The marchers were led down backcountry roads by a police escort to the schools they were sleeping in.
Hey, hey, NRA! How many kids did you kill today?
They walked around 13 miles a day through sun and rain, taking turns to pull a little red wagon with supplies, and were provided with snacks and waters from their adult allies. At their final destination in Traxler Park in Janesville, local police were on standby for security as a crowd gathered patiently to await the first glimpse of the marchers as they crossed over Traxler Bridge. They swarmed to an info booth where they could buy buttons, make donations, and sign up for email alerts of changes in gun legislation, as well as petition to remove Paul Ryan from office. As the marchers crossed Traxler Bridge, students from Janesville Craig High School asked the crowd to arm students with knowledge, not weapons, and read the names of every student who made the 50-mile trek. Their last few yards were met by the crowd with chants of support and encouragement.
Schultz.
Over a dozen marchers spoke at the rally and shared what this movement meant to them.
I marched this week because gun violence is an issue that affects every single American, especially the students of America. Enough is enough. And I want every policymaker out there to know that I will be voting in the 2020 elections, and many others on my country will be voting
The marchers shared their chants with the crowd, and one they specifically wrote for Paul Ryan.
We're screaming, we're crying, us kids out here are dying. If you don't listen, Paul, your reign will surely fall.
The marchers had 3 demands: a ban on all military-style weapons, a ban on all accessories that turn semi-automatic weapons into automatic weapons, and finally, an increase on purchase regulations.
If these demands are not met by a very important date in November of this year, then I am confident that the citizens of this country, including the youth that stand before me here today, will perform their civic duty and vote for change.
18-year-old Katie Eater helped organize the march and made a huge announcement about the 50 Miles More campaign.
We've done it. We've walked 50 miles, and now it's everyone else's turn. Today, 50 Miles More is officially launching a campaign we are calling #50More in #50 states. We are challenging young people in the other 49 miles before the November elections. Young people have just gotten started. Kids may only be 25% of the nation's population, but we are 100% of the future.
As the crowd enveloped the marchers after the final speech, Eder shared more about her speech, the rally, and her plans for 50 miles more. How long did it take you to prepare?
If I'm being totally honest, I wrote it at like 3 a.m. This morning. We were busy, walking, marching, and doing activities all through the night, and so I didn't really get around to it.
How did that feel, coming over the bridge and seeing this huge crowd waiting for you?
It was really powerful. I've imagined this moment for the last month and a half, and it was finally here, and it finally happened, and it almost feels like a dream because, it was everything I could expect and more. There are already young people reaching out to us and who, want to replicate it in their states and who think it's really cool and are inspired by it. So I'm hoping soon that, we'll have the second 50 More march.
My body hurts, but I have the privilege to walk, unlike those victims of gun violence. So I'm walking for them.
For every mile they walked, they spoke the name of a victim of gun violence and remembered them for the duration of that mile. For Media Milwaukee, I'm ReAnna Oestreich.